YouTube, what's going on? I've got a great video for you today, if I may say so myself. So, a lot of times when I'm streaming, people will ask me for gameplay advice and how they can improve their game. So I figured it would be a really good idea to clip these and ship them to YouTube for a tips and tricks type series. In today's video, I had a couple people ask me on stream how to become more patient with their gameplay in the offensive zone and in the neutral zone, so they can avoid defenders and poke checks and set up good plays. So I kind of went in depth with how I try to approach the game, and I tried to give the best and most detailed answers that I possibly could. I'm really interested to see how this video does, so if you like it, please let me know by hitting the like button, and if you have any feedback for me, please let me know in the comments. I'm really looking to figure out, how I can improve this channel, how I can make my videos better, and, make them more likable for you guys. Also, if you have any questions of your own that you'd like to see me do a video on, like something like tips and tricks or anything that, you think would help you improve your gameplay that you would love explained, please also let me know in the comments. I would be happy to do things like that. So you guys just gotta let me know. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. You have a super patient playstyle, always struggle against players like you. It's taken me a while to learn that. I think like when I think about my gameplay, it's actually rather shocking that somebody thinks that I play patient, and I take that as such a big compliment because I've tried really hard to improve in that way. What made you learn it the quickest? The easiest way for me to try to change how I play is analyzing, I guess, what kind of things I do that's worse, that's not good. So being impatient, you can notice on plays when you rush decisions too much, you'll lose the puck really easily by either skating in a too much, if you just straight line up the boards, a lot of times you'll just lose the puck off of a defender that's standing there, or if you make passes into traffic because you aren't waiting for the right spot to make a pass through. I can't believe that went in. You'll just turn it over. So it's kind of just that kind of thing where you want to make the right play and not the play that just sometimes works, I guess. So I guess the best advice I can give is to try not to do anything on autopilot. You want to adapt to the situation you're in, and in all times, you're almost never in the exact same spot. You know what I mean? There's always different players in different spots. Obviously, if you're on a 2-on-1, that's a different story. But in the zone, generally speaking, there's always players in different spots and things like that. And you're trying to adapt to that. So instead of just autopiloting to find a cross crease, you can instead look around for a better pass. And then the other thing is one thing that I see a lot of people not do is that sometimes a pass across the crease isn't there, but that doesn't mean it won't be there later. And I guess that's part of the patience thing. So instead of just trying to force a play that isn't there, you can pass around and then wait for people to move, because as you move the puck, the players move too. Right? And same with shooting, really. You can take shots from the points that aren't the highest percentage shots, but taking any shot, the puck's gonna go somewhere after that. Usually, if the goalie doesn't cover it, which most people pass the puck out. But if you get a rebound or something like that, even if you're not shooting specifically for a rebound to score, you can shoot and then the puck goes somewhere else, and now all the players have moved around. And then maybe there's another, you can get the puck and then make another pass that actually turns into a higher percentage play. So ultimately, it's just trying to set yourself up for high percentage stuff rather than just forcing the same play over and over again until it works. It's also about trying to diversify your gameplay. Because if I play against somebody that's just constantly skating up the boards and then just firing it across and they never, deviate from that, I know exactly what I need to do, which is just take control of one of my defenders and just stand in the slot and cover every single one of his passes. Because then every time, he's just going to pass it right into me, right? So you don't want to be predictable with your offense, because then it's going to be super easy to defend against you. So I guess it's a combination of a bunch of different things, but in simple terms, it's kind of just trying to make high percentage plays instead of not high percentage plays. And like, there are also moments where the right play is to just skate really fast and fire it across. It's just, that isn't the play every time. But if you have the space for it, and the right passing lane, then of course you should do it. Oh, one other thing that I think I can mention is, you might notice that a lot of times I pass backwards to players behind me, and it's because they have more space. So, passing backwards will slow you down, but it gives you a lot more space to work with, generally speaking. So that also might help you with like patience thing, especially through the neutral zone, so that you can, you're not forcing yourself to just skate fast into like the most open spot you can find, but instead you're actually giving it to like players behind you and then making you like go through that forward progress again, but now you have more space to work with. Neutral zone mainly? Okay, so I guess it doesn't really matter either way because it's kind of all the same, but for a neutral zone, I like to kind of, it's almost like doing change-ups with my skating, right? So I kind of slow down, I stop, I do wiggles, things like that, so that, I'm not just skating straight fast at them. It helps a lot to avoid pokes and just general sticks and incidental contacts. So just like changing up your speed and, making it less obvious like what direction you're going, I guess, and making like very, very slight adjustments with your skating so that you can kind of make it look like you're going one direction and then go another, so that like if you do that when you're going slow or slow down before you do that, it can be really effective. And then the other thing with pokes and avoiding pokes, obviously try to protect the puck with your right stick as best you can if you can, but you don't want to hold it into like somebody else, right? So you do that as best you can. And then the other thing is like there's just gap control that you can learn, like, so it's important for both offense and defense really, because if you understand like the range in which they can poke, then you can kind of stay out of it. So if you stay like just further enough away from them that they can't poke you, then you can kind of play with the skating a little bit and do like little wiggles and things like that so that you can get around them while like not losing the puck. And then the other thing is like if you're too close to them, there's like a very specific range where pokes are effective, right? So within this range, you can get poked really easily. But if you're too far away, they can't reach you. And if you're too close, they're more likely to trip you. So, a lot of it, and a lot of avoiding pokes is kind of understanding how, like, the relative positions of all those things. And it's not really hard. Like, all you have to do is really, as you're playing, and you're skating up against somebody that's like skating straight backwards, right opposite of you, like just watch how they're poking and how it reaches, and you can kind of play with it. Good play. And see at what ranges they can reach you and not, and then you can kind of go from there. But I think the change in speeds and how you're skating and moving around is probably the best way to move throughout the neutral zone, especially if you don't have like obvious passes or like players making cuts that make it really easy to pass out of a situation that you don't necessarily want to be in.